What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we will be reacting to worst F2 crashes ever. I did the same sort of video but for F3. Now we're going to do F2. I'm looking forward to this. I do keep up with, like before I created this channel, the motorsports that I did keep up with were F1, F2, F3 and F1 Academy, and I love all of them. F2 more than F3, so I'll probably know like more of these crashes. But saying that, when I watched the F3 video, it was more crashes from like the early 2000s, so I didn't know most of them anyway. But yeah, like I said, I am looking forward to getting into this. But before we do that, make sure you subscribe. Over half of you that watch my videos aren't subscribed. Just hit the bell. It takes 2 seconds. If you'd like to become a member on this channel and receive exclusive perks, you can also do that by hitting the join button down below. Right, let's go.
Get ready to watch 20 of the most dramatic, terrifying, and jaw-dropping Formula 2 crashes ever. The series has
I mentioned
seen some
I started watching
crashes,
F3
wild wrecks,
in like
and
2021.
dangerous driving, making for
But
some
F2, I was keeping up with it,
so
not watching it
buckle up
religiously,
and
but
the unexpected. You're watching Racers Reverie, and these are the
keeping up
worst
with F2
Formula
from
2
like
crashes ever. First up was one of the absolute
but then religiously
craziest
getting into it in like 2021.
F2 has ever seen. The young Venezuelan EJ Visor was taken for the ride of his life in this horrific flip in 2007. He was involved in a close battle mid-pack at the start of the GP2 race and was attempting to jump a few of his opponents early. But this isn't what he had in mind when he thought about jumping other cars. He attempted to overtake Michael Ammermüller while traveling at insane speed down the back. But as he did, he clipped the back of Ammermüller. Suddenly
I just saw this car flying.
He flew to a crazy height, flipped mid-air, rolled off the ground, and smashed the concrete wall at a horrible angle. He skated down the wall at high speed, ripping his car up in the process and narrowly missing the marshals.
No way that's him.
Behind the wall.
No way.
Somehow Visor survived this horror shunt, but his car, well, it wasn't just as lucky.
Wow.
Out of nowhere, disaster struck for the young Swiss driver. He swerved sharply off track as his car snapped out of control in the worst possible place on the entire track. His car
was such a high impact.
The wall and hit it at incredible speed in a devastating accident. The barrier and his car were severely damaged, with his GP2 machine left in a twisted wreck due to the
wreck.
impact.
That's not car anymore.
As it bounced back onto the tarmac, the true extent of the damage could be seen.
Each time I watch it, it gets worse.
Raced to the site, onlookers held their breath. Lima miraculously came out unscathed.
Yeah, and there he is. Like, what?
Safety standards. It
so mind-blowing to me.
As he eventually became GP2 champion in 2013. When the GP2 series changed its name to Formula 2 in 2017, it may have created a new identity, but the racing, drama, and huge crashes stayed as insane as always. Take this as an example. In the 2020 Formula 2 sprint race in Sochi, Luca Giotto and Jack Aitken were battling extremely aggressively through the first part of the lap. And when the pair got to the insane turn 3, they didn't ease off. Instead, they went side by side through the long left-hander in a daring display of bravery. But to be honest, this crazy fight was bound to end in disaster. Just moments later, Aitken lost control of his compost machine and hit the side of Giotto.
The barrier is in pieces. Look at that.
Giotto was punted off the track at insane speed, causing a horrible side-on impact with the barrier, and Aitken was no luckier, barreling into the wall head first in a devastating smash.
We join this battle live, nothing between the two of them all, and that's a big crash into the wall. At turn 3, when you are just looking after the grip, and you are at the mercy of
look at that.
Adhesion
again
in that corner.
All the tiny bits of the barrier. I feel sorry for the marshals that have to clean that up.
As we know by now, this series is never short of surprises, and the 2011 season was no exception, saving the most devastating crash of the whole season for the very last race. As they lined up on the grid in Abu Dhabi for the last time that season, the fully packed field was sure to bring excitement to the Yas Marina track, but nobody predicted what would happen next. As the lights went out, the fourth-place qualifier Danny Kloss stalled on the grid, and the chance of every car behind him avoiding him was pretty slim. Luis Reicha was coming from the back and had reached extremely high speed
What?
already. When trying to navigate the other drivers, he veered left to avoid Jolyon Palmer.
He was already about to pass.
Smashed straight into him at full speed.
That's crazy.
The impact was horrific and sent Kloss flying.
There's always one when there's a stalled car that will end up hitting said stalled car.
Stalled car. Oh my goodness, that was an absolutely
It was horrific.
mental shunt. You see him come swerving across to the left.
And that's worse for the stalled car as well. You're just sat there like a sitting duck.
But somehow they all avoided serious injury in this horror hit. The 2006 GP2 round at Valencia
2006?
was a relatively uneventful one for Irishman Adam Carroll. But that was until this happened. Driving for Racing Engineering, he was fighting the Campos racing car of Adrian Valles in an intense and close battle. But the two got a little bit too close for comfort when Carroll drove straight into the back of the Spaniard at his home race. Out of nowhere, Carroll's car was launched into the air, flying straight over Valles' car,
Oh, now he's flipping.
Unbelievable scene. It smashed off the ground, breaking the front suspension. But when it got to the ground trap, things got even
that one
worse.
was crazy.
The car dug into the gravel and rolled over violently. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. The extremely nasty hit saw Carroll barrel roll mid-air and take a serious beating as he landed.
And well,
let's stay in
2016
Spain for a moment as Antonio Giovinazzi,
love him,
or the Italian Jesus as he used to be known, was driving for Prima Racing during the 2016 Barcelona GP2 weekend.
Sorry, did I mention that already?
Bang off the barrier. He was attempting an overtake on rival Sean Gelael of Campos Racing, but Gelael didn't exactly give him much space to get the move done. Gelael pushed the Italian off the track, and with nowhere to go, Giovinazzi drove into the grass and made contact with Gelael's car on one of the quickest points of the circuit. It flew into the air, giving the 2023 Le Mans winner no time to slow down at all. He barreled at top speed towards the barrier and hit it at crazy speed side on in a very painful looking impact. He was shaken up as he made his way out of his car, but managed to escape this one without any injuries. The start of the 2011 GP2 race at Istanbul Park was completely hectic, with all the drivers fighting extremely closely for position through the winding first section.
Yeah, look at them go. They're all very close.
Now that's a recipe for disaster.
Oh no.
As the pack tightened, Ryder found himself getting squeezed, and before he knew it, chaos was unfolding around him. Cars were spinning off, and he got fired up into the air.
He's upside down.
His car took off like a jet, barrel rolling mid-air
Still
across
flipping.
the racetrack in an unbelievably dangerous crash. But for Nicholas Latifi and the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi, it's the complete opposite. Way before his moment at the end of the 2021 F1
we don't need to bring that up again.
Not bring that up again.
Yeah, I just knew he was going to mention it.
In 2018 during his Formula 2 days. At the start of the race,
he
he stalled from third on the grid and was left as a sitting duck, hoping that every other driver would see his car and avoid hitting him. But unfortunately,
there's always one.
Latifi was hit by Arjun Mini at full speed in a massive shot, taking the whole side off
the whole car forward,
and punting it up the track in a very scary
that man
incident.
ducking.
But luck was on Latifi's side as he walked away.
I just walked away.
While attacking the awkward apex, he went deep and lost control of his Formula 2 machine. The car was catapulted straight into the air and directly towards the crash barrier on the other side of the track.
It just
monumental
took too much
speed.
curb and flew in the air.
Suffered a heavy side impact that completely wrecked his car. Finding out how the smallest of mistakes can have the biggest consequences in the streets of Monte Carlo. He ran into the rear of the car ahead, launching the front of his car into the air and out of control.
My God.
He smashed the wall at an almighty speed as his car mounted the crash barrier, leaving him looking
that
up
shot
at the
is crazy.
sky as his car
The debris everywhere.
Oh, and Crow, look at that! Roman Grosjean gets it all wrong. And that
Commentator there.
Whoa,
look at that!
We've been waiting for so many years,
Funny.
and he's mounted the barrier. And let's hope that Roman Grosjean, the championship leader, is going to be okay. He's in the cockpit.
Luckily for him, he must have hit the wall at just the right angle to avoid injury, as he somehow walked away from this unbelievable shunt. He was fighting fiercely with 2 other cars, and as the group approached the turn 10 corner La Caixa, things took a turn for the worst.
Oh my god, he mounted both cars.
Left or right, he ended up locking up his tires and going straight
Oh,
on
there's a wheel loose.
And not only did he go straight on,
Front
but he
wing
also
gone.
went straight over the other 2
Damage,
cars,
monumental.
damaging them
That
and flipping himself
was
in the
crazy to
process.
watch there.
His car caught
The way he
crazy
flew over
air,
the
and he
2
was
cars.
extremely lucky not to roll over fully. Instead, he took a huge hit as his car smashed off the ground. That isn't one he'll forget easily. We all know how dangerous a stalled car on the grid can be,
Yeah.
but few accidents demonstrate the
Oh,
true
no.
danger as much as this
I didn't want to
shocking
watch that again.
did in 2021.
That was terrifying.
When F2 visited the high-speed
I remember
Jeddah
watching
police
this.
circuit in 2021, the race start turned into a nightmare for drivers Enzo Fittipaldi and Theo Pourchaire. The Frenchman stalled from 3rd off the grid, and there just wasn't enough time for Fittipaldi to avoid his car. Enzo drove right into Theo's stalled car at full speed, causing an outrageous impact for both
Not good.
drivers and completely wrecking both cars. Nothing excites quite like a qualifying session around the streets of Monte Carlo.
No.
Cars going flat
Not
out,
this again.
and when it goes wrong, it goes badly wrong. Take Jake Hughes in 2022 as an
No,
example.
I don't want to watch it
Rick
again.
was right on the edge of grip, pushing as hard as he possibly
That's
could
even
with
worse
1
when I've
minute
seen it.
remaining
I
in
know what's
the race.
coming. I'm like,
He was on a
no.
decent lap, but that was until he got to the famous swimming pool section, where his hopes of a top time started to sink. Hughes went in too deep and smashed into the apex.
Oh,
launching his
look
car
at the
straight into
damage on
air
the side
at
of the car there.
ludicrous
There's no
speed.
side of the
He
car.
hit the
What am I
inside
talking
wall
about?
in a
It's just
crash
gone.
that would be huge on its own, and was then sent straight into the outside
Cool.
wall. The impact was shocking, with the side-on hit completely wrecking his car. Bodywork was ripped from the car and thrown across the track in what was
Oh
one of the
my
most
God.
dramatic Monaco crashes in recent memory.
That's got to be worse in a quali
Pourchaire was on
session
the
as well, because then
unfortunate
you've
end of the
got to
stick
try and
again,
fix the
this
car.
time in the 2022 Monza feature race.
Oh yeah, this was
The pack
ridiculous.
managed to get through the famous first chicane without issue, which is a miracle in itself. But things quickly unfolded after that. Pourchaire hit Boschung coming out of turn 2, which started a chain reaction of crashes that kept getting worse and worse. Boschung hit the wall hard.
Oh,
Pourchaire
what a mess.
spun, who then got hit not once but twice. He got T-boned with an extremely hard impact, spinning his car around on the track. Such was the force of the hit. Luckily, the car did its job and kept the Frenchman safe, but he definitely would have been sore after that one.
Yeah.
Scrapping there, there's going to be a spin in the background. Into the wall goes Boschung, and it's Theo Pourchaire. Hit a couple of times. Luca Giotto and Ollie Caldwell in that as well. That will be a safety car.
And
Yeah.
seeing as I'm feeling generous today, here is a bonus crash before we wrap up the video.
Okay.
This mental moment came from the 2009 GP2 race at Portugal's Portimao circuit.
Right.
Vitaly Petrov stalled instantly at the start and was seen frantically waving his hands in the air to alert race control, hoping they would stop the race before he got hit. But unfortunately for him, his plan didn't work. The
Oh.
last car on the grid didn't see him in time.
That's
He
a
got
mess.
driven into by Michael Herc at full speed, hitting the rear of his car unbelievably hard, causing an immense crash.
Yeah, they were crazy. Some of those from the early 2000s as well. I was like, oh my god, that is shocking. The last one, the amount of debris that was just all over the start line. That was good. I did enjoy that. I want to do more videos on like F2 and F3. I hadn't really thought about it because I didn't really think that many people who follow my channel would want to see that sort of thing. But a couple of you requested that I should do F2 and F3. So I'm glad you guys have said that because I'd like to do more videos on them as well as F1. And all the other motorsports that I'm getting into. So with that being said, if you have any other videos that you'd like me to react to, drop them in the comments. I'm working my way through everybody's suggestions at the moment. If you did want to check out any of my other socials, they are all linked down below. And if you want to become a member on this channel and receive exclusive perks, you can also do that by hitting the join button down below. But I hope you enjoyed today's reaction and I will catch you next time for the next one. Bye!